Hello, this is Ron Climer again, and by the way, this is the video for my classmates. That's the name of the video, and I named it that on purpose. That's my information, ronclimer@yahoo.com. There's my phone number, 828-440-1064. Anything I can do to help you pass the North Carolina real estate exam. By the way, this is North Carolina stuff. Although it's North Carolina stuff, it's math. They do a lot of things different in North Carolina, but math is not one of them. And so math is math. And so anyway, the next thing we're going to do here is how much is your loan balance after one payment? You know, when we have a loan that pays itself off, it's called a amortized loan. Amortize means to kill or extinguish, and so we extinguish the loan by making principal and interest payments. So if we borrowed $100,000 at 6 3/4% interest, and our payments were $612.50. Now, the most likely way we'll get the payments on the test is they will just give them to us. Now, you may remember in the last tape we talked about how to compute the payments if they give them to you per thousand, and we'll repeat that. But in this example, we're borrowing $100,000 at 6 3/4, and our payments are $612.50 per month. Now, the way I learned this was a 4-step formula. Multiply, divide, subtract, subtract. Multiply, divide, subtract, subtract. Multiply, divide, subtract, subtract. So we're going to multiply the principal, $100,000, times the interest rate. Now, 7 3/4%. I mean 6 3/4%. That is 6.75%. We move the decimal 2 places over, and in the calculator it looks like 0.0675. $100,000 times 0.0675. All right, let's do that in the calculator. $100,000 times 0.0675, and that is $6,750. Now, what is that number right there? It's the annual interest. It's how much money you would pay in a year. But we're not interested in a year. We want to know about next month. All right? So let's take the $6,750, and let's divide it by 12 months. All right? 6,750 divided by 12 months. So next month, or the first month, we're paying $562.50. $562.50. What's the name of that money? And the name of that money is the monthly interest. That's how much interest we're going to pay the first month, $562.50. Now, we're paying $562.50 in interest. Our payment is principal and interest, $612.50. So our payment is $612.50, principal and interest. Let's subtract the interest from the principal and interest, and that's going to give us $612.50 minus $562.50 equals $50. So we're going to pay $50 in monthly amortization or monthly principal reduction. So that is the principal reduction the first month. So we've reduced our principal by $50. We sent the bank $612.50 and we reduced our principal by $50. So step last is to subtract the $50 from the $100,000, and after one payment we owe $99,950. $99,950 after one payment. Now, if the question should ask you what's the balance after two payments, what do? Start with this number and do the same thing again. Do the same thing again if it asks you after three. I don't think it will, but that's our balance after one payment. By the way, don't take my word for it. Take this number and do the balance after two payments, and you tell me the interest is going to go down and the principal reduction is going to go up. You pay a little more principal every month, a little less interest every month. Why is that? Because you owe less money. The loan is amortized. The loan is killing itself or amortizing itself. Multiply, divide, subtract, subtract. Multiply, divide, subtract, subtract. All right, I'm erasing this and we're going to move on to something else. And that is, by the way, if you look on page 284 in your book, what I just did, amortization, is on page 284 in this book, if you got this book. So that's Modern Real Estate Practices in North Carolina. So if you got that, let's see, throw that away. Nope. Next thing we're going to do is 28% and 36%. Now what are these? This is the maximum housing expense ratio that some lenders allow, and this is the maximum total obligations ratio that some lenders will allow. So let's take a guy that's making $120,000 a year. He and his wife, gross income, $120,000 per year. All right? How much is that per month? Well, let's divide that by 12 months. So our hero is making $10,000 per month. He's making $10,000 per month, and the question is, if his house payment is $2,500 per month, how much other debt can he have? All right? Everybody with me? I'm going to have to erase this. So if his house payment is $2,500 per month, how much other debt can he have? All right, let's erase this. Now he's making $10,000 a month. He's making $10,000 a month. That's his income, him and his wife, gross income, making $10,000 a month. Well, 36% of that is $3,600. Hold on, let me use a calculator to make sure I got that right. 10,000 times 0.36. All right, so he can obligate himself for $3,600 a month in payments. Well, his house payment, by the way, that's P-I-T-I. P-I-T-I is $2,500. So if he's going to have a $2,500 house payment, his other debts, his car payment, his truck payment, his Visa bill, MasterCard, Sears, Kohl's, all those things, cannot exceed $1,100. Everybody with me on that one? All right, that cannot exceed $1,100. And let's see, we got interest, we got amortization, and let me talk to you about this seller wants to net. By the way, if you looked at my previous videos, the ones where I did the questions back on page 749 in this book, this is question 8, and it's also question 41. So go back, not this, but the next thing we're going to do. Go back and do those later on, because it's the exact same question, just with different numbers. So let's see. All right, Mr. Seller says he wants to net $130,000 in his pocket after all the dust clears. He said, I want $130,000 in my pocket. Now he's got a mortgage payoff. He's got to pay off his mortgage, which is $224,000 exactly. All right. And he's got miscellaneous closing cost of $500. All right. So, and he has to pay a commission of 7.5% commission. So he's going to charge, the realtor's charging 7.5% commission. So the question is, what is the price? By the way, I don't usually give you choices, but I want to give you 4 choices here, and I want you to write them down because I'm going to have to erase them. But let me give you 4 choices, and I'll tell you why I'm giving you the choices in a minute. Choice 1 is $381,087. That's choice 1. Choice B is $383,243. And choice C is $385,618. And choice D is $384,550. All right. Those are the choices. All right. And here's the question. So here's the deal. We got to get $130,000 for Mr. Seller, plus $224 for the bank, $500 for miscellaneous closing costs, and 7.5% of the money goes to the realtor. So let's take our calculator and let's add these numbers up and see what they come to. $130,000 plus $224,000 plus $500 equals $354,500. Now, is that what you got with your calculator? Don't sit there and watch it be like you're watching a TV show. You take the calculator and do this arithmetic with me. So this number here is what percent of the sale price? All right, is what percent of the sale price? It's 100% minus 7.5%. So this number here is 92.5% of the sale price. This number here is 92.5% of the sale price. That is, if we knew the price, which we don't, and we timesed it by 0.925, we would get $354,500. but we don't know the price, so we can't do that. But we can do this arithmetic backwards. What's the reverse of times? Divide. So if we take the $354,500 and divide it by 92.5, move the decimal over 2 places, all right, and $92.5, and let's see what the calculator says. All right, I got the 354,500 on the face of my calculator, divided by 0.925. My calculator says 383,243. Well, that's one of the choices. That gives me a warm feeling down in the pit of my stomach when my answer is one of the choices. However, you know, I forgot what it costs to take the test one more time, but I know it costs something. Seems like it was 94 bucks, I'm not sure. But if it costs 94 bucks to take the test one more time, I want to be absolutely sure that I got the right answer. Y'all remember in the 4th grade, Miss Grantham told you to check your work? You remember that? And, well, let's try that. Let's try that. I've erased all the numbers. We got 383,243. All right? Help me out. 7.5% commission. All right? Times 0.075. The commission is going to be $28,743 and some change. Let's see, what do we have to get? We're going to subtract that. We got to get $130,000 for the seller. What was our payoff? $224,000. We got to get $224,000 for the bank, and we got to get $500 for those miscellaneous closing costs. All right. Let's see how we do here. 383,243 minus 28,743 minus 130,000 minus 224,000 minus 500 equals 0. Voila! That must be the right answer. By the way, could you do this problem by going to each one of the 4 answers and trying again? By the way, a lot of people, they do this problem a different way than the way I just did it. They do it a different way and they get a different answer. That's called the wrong answer. If you got 381,087 for the answer, choice A. Ooh, there's that warm feeling. Well, let's check it out. 381,087. 381,087 times 0.075. All right, our commission is going to be $29,331 and some change. We got to get $130,000 for the bank. We got to get $224,000 for the seller, for the bank, and for the closing cost. All right, let's subtract all that out. We got 381,087 minus 29,331 minus 130,000 minus 224,000 minus 500 equals, it doesn't equal 0. That must be the wrong answer. And you could do that with the 4 choices. Now I call that the no pride method. And the reason I call it the no pride method is you come out of the state exam and you passed. You passed. You're happy. You got your pass slip in your hand. But you run into one of your classmates. And he said, "Did you pass?" You say, "Yeah, I passed, but you know, I did the arithmetic backwards from the answers." And he said, "Oh man, I'm embarrassed for you." He said, "I failed, but I sure didn't do the arithmetic backwards from the answers. So, you know, I failed with pride rather than passing with no pride." So I call that the no pride method. And so if you got no pride, Ron says, go back and do it backwards from the answers if that's the only way you can get it done. So, all right, we got that out of the way. And let's do price per acre, and we'll have to quit on this video. By the way, price per acre. Anytime you see a question that says this per that, it doesn't matter what it is. This per that. How many miles per gallon? The miles go on the top of the equation. The gallons go on the bottom of the equation. This per that. This per that. So the question says, what is the price per acre? All right, let's see. Let's give ourselves a price, and let's just say that the piece of land is 660 by 660. By the way, everybody knows that little gizmo means feet, don't you? All right. So the piece of land is 660 by 660, and the price is $130,000. All right. So we're going to buy this piece of empty land, 660 by 660, for $130,000. This is the total price. This is the total price. And so the question is, what is price per acre? What's the price per acre? All right, first thing we got to do is figure out how many acres it is. 660 by 660. 660 by 660 equals 435,600 square feet. So that's how many square feet are in that piece of property. Now, you got to have it memorized how many square feet in an acre. And there's 43,560. 43,560 square feet in an acre. So if we take this piece of property, 435,600, and divide it by 43,560, we will determine that this is a 10-acre parcel of property. This is a 10-acre parcel of property. And now, so we got 10 acres, and the question is, what is the price per acre? All right, I'm going to erase this, and then I'll write it back. So the question is, what is this, the price per that acre? Price per acre. Price is 130,000. 10 acres. 130,000 divided by 10. Choose a calculator. 130,000, 4 zeros, divided by 10, and my calculator says it's 13,000 per acre. 13,000 per acre. By the way, if you're sitting around tonight watching the Packers play, and you just want to entertain your guest or your wife or whomever, you might just ask them, how many acres are in a football field? How many acres in a football field? A football field is 100 yards long by 53 yards wide. See if you can figure out how many acres that is while you're sitting there watching the football game tonight. By the way, I'll go ahead and give you the answer. If you can't figure that one out, give me a call. No, don't give me a call. Figure it out. Anyway, I'm going to have to close this video. Try to get the other one up today or tomorrow. And good luck. Stay in touch. Call me if I can help you.